Hey, what's happening, everyone? So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Sabine Wren from the Ahsoka television show. So I really liked Sabine in Rebels. In the Ahsoka show, not as much, but I think the actress did a good job with what she was given. I think the figure looks great. I mean, she's a Mandalorian. It's going to look really good on the shelf. And of course, this comes in the Galaxy packaging. Star Wars The Black Series up top. Through the window, you can see Sabine comes with her helmet, a pair of Westar 35 Mandalorian blaster pistols. Love that. And a lightsaber. And this lightsaber looks bent. It looks like a banana. I know it's kind of hard to see. You see that little bend? I don't know if that's an illusion, from the plastic, or if it is in fact warped. I may have to heat that up. We'll see. But you got Star Wars Ahsoka and Sabine Wren. On this side of the box, the front window wraps around, and there's the side with the artwork. It's a pretty good picture. You can see part of Lothal in the background. I really like the color for the Ahsoka line. Small window on the top, and I've got some damage on top. Thank you, Amazon. And on the bottom, you got the barcode, mouse print, and some logos. And there's the back of the box. You have the same picture as the side. You have a rundown of the show in 5 different languages. Sabine is number 3 in the Ahsoka line, and you got some more mouse print down there. All right, I'm going to get Sabine out of the box, and let's take a look at her. Okay, so here is Sabine Wren out of the box, and let's get a good look at her. Start up top, and this face, this looks good. This is a striking resemblance to Natasha Liu Bordizzo. I think they did a nice job with this. The eyes look good, the nose, the mouth. They even got the little mole there. It's barely there, but it's there. That's a nice touch. I think the skin tone is very good. I think from all angles, the face looks fantastic. And the hair, I think they did a pretty good job. It's a cool sculpt. It's a nice shade of purple, and there is a dark wash throughout, to kind of bring out some of that detail. From the neck up, I think this is great. And from the neck down, we have her Mandalorian armor that she had on in the Ahsoka show, and I think it looks good. Even right up here at this collar, there's some nice detail, but the chest looks good. I love the colors, and it's cool how this purple kind of comes up and over, and it carries around to the back. And then same thing with this, kind of orangish yellow stripe, kind of goes up and over, carries around to the back. I love that. But all this looks good. I love the shoulder bells, especially this one here with this kind of cartoony looking purgle. I just love that. Beautiful shade of blue. There's the back. Now they did put a dent here, like she got hit in the back. It's just on the back. There's no other damage anywhere, just right there. That's kind of odd, but I don't know. It's fine. It's in the back. You have some good detail back here. And then this shoulder bell looks good. This little rebel insignia. Sleeves are just brown sleeves with some nice detail. And then the gauntlets. Great detail in there. I love the yellow here on the tops there. That looks nice. And it's super clean. Very clean. And that's what that one looks like. Just some more fine detail in there. Now for hands. So my right hand, the paint is extremely sloppy in there. And it's almost like she has an extra finger. That's super sloppy. And I did not split this. That's how it was right out of the box. Very sloppy paint on the right hand. But this here, that's just bugging me. It's almost like she's got syndactyly or something. I don't like that. The left hand is much better. If I can get the camera to focus. Yeah, the left hand is okay. A slight trigger finger on there, not much of a trigger finger on the right. It's kind of, I don't know, not too happy with that. But moving on to this belt. The belt looks good. It's a nice sculpt. It would have been nice to see some of these studs painted, but it's okay. The buckle looks good. Got a little hook there for her lightsaber. Holsters come down, and the holsters have a nice texture to them. Kind of slick. And then this back here, again, there's no paint in the back, but the pouches look good. This nice detail in there. And the legs are just brown with some nice detail, some nice wrinkles. I love the knee pads. And again, I love how the color scheme kind of carries down, this black and yellowish orange color down to this black and yellow with this little bit of purpley plum color right down to there. And then this side, you just have this color and it carries down to the top of this foot. So that's kind of cool. I love how they're mismatched like that. But from top to bottom, it is a good looking figure. Yeah, pretty happy with this so far. And as far as articulation, you've got some side to side at the head. You've got some pretty good down, a little bit of up. It kind of wants to spring back a little bit, and you do have some excellent side to side tilt. And for arms, they can get up that far, and you do have a little bit of pivot at the shoulder joint. It's not a butterfly joint, but there is a little bit of something there. And of course, they can rotate all the way around. Now, elbows. The elbows just barely get past 90. I do wish there was a little more range there. That's unfortunate. But you have a swivel at the elbow, swivel at the wrist, and you have a very good up and down hinge on the right hand, as well as an up and down hinge on the left hand. For midsection, you have some twist, a little bit of crunch, some pretty good back, and some very good side-to-side tilt. And for legs, they can get up that far. They can go out very far because of the dumbbell there. And since there's no thigh cut, you do have a little bit of pivot at the hip joint. You have single knees that get up there. Swivel at the knee. You also have boot swivel. Kind of cool. Feet go down that far. They go up just to there. And there is some swivel at the ankle. So the articulation on Sabine is pretty good. I just wish there was a little more range in the elbows. And moving on to accessories. So here's the 2 blaster pistols that she comes with. So this is the Westar 35 Mandalorian blaster. We've seen it before. It's a nice sculpt, silver with some black on the grip. And you have some blue and you have some yellow on this one. Pretty cool. I love these. And I wanted to make sure which pistol went in which hand, just because I'm funny about stuff like that. So I grabbed a shot from the show, and it looks like the blue is in the left and the yellow one is on the right. Okay. Now, of course, Hasbro does have it that way in the package and in the promo shots, but I wanted to make sure. So I pulled up a scene from the show and confirmed. So yeah, blue on the left and yellow on the right. And there we have it. So the blue one looks pretty good as far as the trigger finger. Right, that's not too bad. So these pistols obviously don't have a trigger guard, but that finger is sitting right on the trigger. Well, actually, I got some sloppiness there on the left hand as well. But the right hand, that little extra bit of material there just looks bad. That is really poor. I mean, yes, the finger is sitting on the trigger, but this in there, that is just bugging me. That is just a sloppy sculpt. But from a distance, you know, she looks fine with both pistols out front, just blasting away. And there she is in kind of a wide stance with threats coming at her from both sides. And with both pistols up like this, the elbows only get that far. That is unfortunate. So you can't quite replicate the box art. Okay? You cannot get the pistols close enough to her head. That is it for elbows. But, I mean, overall, it's not terrible. But the elbows do bend just enough, and the holsters are low enough so you can pose her like she's drawing both blasters. That doesn't look too bad. And real quick, before I see how the holsters work, I want to see how she looks with 2 blasters out front with the helmet on. So here's the helmet, and I think this looks nice. I think the paint is super clean. I love the blue on either side. That's very nice. I think the visor looks good. The sides, the back. Yeah, the paint is very clean on this helmet. Got a little bit of a nick there, but that's okay. And, of course, the rangefinder can articulate. Yeah, it's a sweet-looking helmet. So this helmet, it goes on well. And on my copy, it sits all the way down. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, can't really see her chin unless you tip her up. Okay, mine does sit all the way down. I've heard of some people having issues with it not sitting down. Okay, so this one is good, but it's very loose. It's very, very loose. Let's see if I can... Now, you can't shake it off. Yeah, cue the song. So you can't shake it off, but it's pretty loose. So I'm going to try just a little ball of sticky tack in there. Just kind of mash it up to the underside of the helmet like that. Let's see if that helps. Okay, that's much better. You can actually turn her head now while holding onto the helmet. Okay, so that's an option. Just a small ball of sticky tack. It still sits all the way down. Okay, that's pretty good. That is not bad, and it's actually a pretty good look for this figure. And there she is with the right one out, left one down by her side, kind of turning sideways, head tilted down a little bit. That's a cool look. And there's just a neutral pose with both blasters down by her side with the head tilted down slightly. I like the look of that. All right, let's see what happens to the sticky tack when I take the helmet off. Okay, it stays put. And there is 0 residue on her hair. Okay, that works. I may just leave that in there. Now, let's check out the holsters. On the right side, yellow. Okay, that looks good. And on the left side, the blue one. And that looks good. Yeah, those look great there. So moving on to the saber. And this is the same hilt that they used with Ezra Bridger from Lethal, right, from the Ahsoka show. Same hilt, slightly different paint job. It's a good looking hilt, and mine was, it was bent right out of the box. Had a slight bow. Now I did heat this up and then dunked it in cold water. It's better than it was. It still has a slight bow. It's not horrible, but the sculpt is nice, and I do love the color for the blade. It's a great shade of green, and it does kind of grab the light. I'm loving that. Yeah, the hilt's fine overall. And it does go in the hand very well, so there it is in just the right hand, and that does not look bad at all. It's very stable. It's not going anywhere, so I kind of like that. And you can definitely get two hands on this saber. It looks pretty good. Again, I wish there was a little more range in the elbows, but that's not a bad look. And you can get both hands above her head while still holding onto the hilt. That's always a plus. And something that's pretty impressive are these wrist hinges. I mean, look at that left side. I mean, you can get the saber practically parallel to the ground with two hands on the hilt because of this wrist hinge. This works well. All right, so we know that she holds the saber pretty well. She poses pretty well with it. Let's see how the lightsaber storage works. So this blade will unpeg, and just like Ezra's saber, there's some cutouts on the blade that match up with these two little things on the emitter end. So there's only one way that this blade will go in, but let's see how this little hook on the belt works. So that goes on there. Pretty snug. Okay, all right, they didn't quite think this through. The strap for the holster causes the saber to kick out. That's kind of silly. And no matter how you position it, it wants to kick it out. Yeah, no amount of gravity is going to cause this to lay flat. It just, that looks kind of goofy. All right, it stays on. It's extremely stable, but I'm just not liking that. This little strap there is right in the way. Yeah, that looks dumb. All right, I just wanted to see how it works, and it doesn't work that well. I don't think I'll ever use it, so let's pop the blade back in. So again, just line up those little notches, and that'll just snap in there. And there is an audible pop. All right, let me put the saber back in her hand. Yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to display her on the shelf. I don't know. Not sure if I want to keep the helmet on or helmet off. I'll figure something out. All right, so for right now, I think I'll just have her cradling the helmet like this, cock the head sideways a little bit, give her a little bit of attitude, and just have the saber down in front of her. So let's go stick her on the shelf, and let's see what she looks like there. And here we are, and yeah, I think she looks great. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep her in this pose or not, but she does look nice on the shelf. And you can see how she scales with Ezra and Morgan and Chopper. It's a nice looking figure. And real quick, before I take her back in the other room, you can see how she scales with the Rebels version of herself. She's much shorter. Okay, her feet are on the ground. She is much shorter, but I always thought that Rebels Sabine was way too tall. All right, so bottom line, I think this is a very nice figure, especially the face. They pretty much nailed the face. It looks way better in person. The hair looks good. The armor, I love the colors, especially this little Purgle up there. That's just cool. Saber looks pretty good. The blasters are cool. The helmet's nice, and the sticky tack up in there, that helped. Yeah, from head to toe, I think this is a great version of Sabine, but just like always, I want to hear from you guys. So comment below and let me know what you think of Sabine Wren from the Ahsoka television show. And if you enjoy videos on Star Wars The Black Series, please consider dropping a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and don't forget to turn on notifications. I would certainly appreciate it, and I just thank you guys so much for watching. See you all next time.